Hi, my name is Kim Stanley, and I am the instructor of the Health 210 course. So I just wanted to come on here and do a quick little introduction video and just give you a few little high points of some things to look forward to during the semester and to give an overview of how the course is set up and give you some information about how to really get started over the next week or so as you get going in the course. Now, the first thing to mention is this course is solely in Canvas. It's an online course, so there's not going to be any in-person requirement for the course. It's asynchronous. You're going to work at your own pace, but you're going to meet the deadlines that are set in the course. So while online courses offer you a lot of flexibility with your given schedule during the week, being that you don't have to be present at a specific set time, it also takes a lot of planning on your part. So one thing that you're really going to need to do, especially as you get started in this semester, is just take some time, look at the calendar for what's going to be due this semester, and go ahead and plan that out. Get those dates down, and however it is that you keep track of them, whether you keep a planner, whether you keep track of it on your phone, computer, whatever it is, however you do that, go ahead and get those dates down and then start to plan your weeks. So go ahead and set a specific date and time where you are going to focus on nutrition. You do have to read chapters in your textbook each week, and that can take a bit of time. So just set aside time for that, time to do your reading, time to do your assignments, and just make that a part of your weekly routine. So just one of my first greatest bits of encouragement as you get going is to plan ahead and set a routine. So you're going to need to be responsible for doing that and in order to do the work and to meet your deadlines. And I think that that's just a really big key to success for any online course. So any course that you're in, and even your not online courses, just kind of planning all of that in there. And you guys are, you've been through enough schooling already to know how important it is to plan ahead. So I trust that you already kind of have a handle on that, but it is worth mentioning to kind of just remind you as you get going. So again, the course is online. It's going to be in Canvas, and I want you to go practice some navigation through Canvas. One of the things that I've really tried to do, LMU has a template that we follow for all of our online courses. One of the things I've really tried to do is to make sure that each of your weeks are set up quite similar to one another. So you're going to kind of get into a pattern and into a routine of how you access things, how you submit things, all of that. So go ahead and get in Canvas and start to get familiar with how the course is set up. Now, when you're in Canvas, one of the first things that you're going to be looking at is the syllabus. That course syllabus has a wealth of information about course objectives, expectations, LMU policies, policies within the course, things that are very important. And one of the things I've already mentioned that's really important is it's going to have all of your due dates in that syllabus. So all of your assignments for the semester are going to be listed along with all of the due dates. So go ahead and make yourself familiar with that and get those dates down, as I've already mentioned earlier. Another thing that's going to be in the syllabus is the information for your textbook. Now, the textbook is required for this course. You have to have your textbook. And information about it is in the syllabus, so it's going to be imperative that you go ahead and you pick up or you order that textbook, however it is that you go about it. But you have weekly readings, weekly chapter readings. You need your textbook to complete those. There are going to be other assignments where you're going to need to refer specifically to your textbook. So it's very, very important that you get that. And so I got a cheat sheet here that I have to refer to keep me from rambling a little bit. But for your syllabus, it's going to have your due dates, list of your assignments, your textbook info. And one thing about, I mentioned the course is kind of set up so that you have some routine, with the exception of when there is a holiday, which Labor Day is going to affect this, but with the exception of that, all of your weekly assignments are going to be due on Monday nights at 11:59. So just right before midnight on Monday nights, you're going to have weekly assignments that are going to be due. And when you have tests, those tests are all going to be due on Friday nights at 11:59. Not every Friday night, but there are going to be 5 tests. And so there are going to be 5 Fridays throughout the semester where you're going to have a test that's going to be due by 11:59 p.m. So So just take note of that when you're looking at your due dates. Now, as far as how the course is organized, this course is made up of 16 chapters. Now, those 16 chapters are broken into 5 units. So for each unit, there's going to be a test. I mentioned there are 5 tests. It's because there are going to be 5 units. So your units are going to be composed of anywhere from 2 to 4 chapters. And so each unit will vary in length. But as you go through your units, what you're going to encounter is each unit is going to be made up of individual chapters. And for the first chapter of each unit in Canvas, there is going to be an instructor introduction video or an overview video for that particular unit. And so what those videos go over is basically it's going to tell you which chapters make up the unit that will be on a test. And it's going to tell you just some high points of what each chapter will cover and the assignments that are going to be due for each of the chapters. And so that's going to be in the first chapter for each unit. So for instance, Unit 1 begins with Chapter 1. So the overview for Unit 1 is going to be found in the Chapter 1 section in Canvas. Now, at the end of each unit, so for the last chapter of each unit, there's going to be a video in Canvas that is the instructor review for the unit. So again, for Unit 1, that's made up of Chapters 1, 2, and 3. So for Chapter 3, which is going to be the final chapter for the unit, there will be an instructor review video. And basically what those videos do is they pick out essentially one big high point from each of the chapters and review it as if we were going over a test review. And that's not everything that's going to be on the test, but it's something that just that I wanted to go to in more detail with you. So one thing to note is that you can always look ahead. So when you're working on a chapter, you can always look ahead to that chapter review video that's going to be at the end of the unit to see if it hits on any high points that you might need as you're working on your chapter assignments. So just kind of throwing that in there. But those are things that you're going to want to view, and those are going to be in the instructor info section for the chapters. Now, for each individual chapter, you will have what we call weekly assignment, because basically you do a chapter a week. We have some chapters that are doubled up later in the semester. Chapters 10 and 11 double up, chapters 12 and 13 double up, but essentially you have a chapter a week, and each chapter is going to have an assignment that you complete. It's either going to be a set of essay written response questions, or it's going to be a quiz. So either or for each chapter. Some of them have the discussion essay responses. Some of them have quizzes. So as you're working through, you'll see, and it'll tell you if you're going to have a quiz or if you're going to have written essay responses. And most of your chapters will have a discussion board. Now, for the discussion board, what you're going to do is you're going to respond to the discussion board prompt, and you're also going to respond to 2 classmates. So those are always going to be the protocol for any discussion board. You're going to need to do that. You're going to need to respond to the initial prompt and then respond to 2 other students. One thing I want to go back and mention is when you have the set of discussion questions or essay questions for an assignment, and there's 4 of them, and you'll see those in the assignment. Then the questions are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. When you do your responses, please number them 1, 2, 3, 4 to their corresponding question. So sometimes people try to write their responses as a one really large paper, and while it may be wonderful in their responses and they may do a really good job with it, it can get a little cumbersome to grade when parts are here and parts are there and things like that. So what I want you to do is just to number those questions, or number your responses to the questions as you go through those. So again, 16 chapters, 5 tests. The tests are going to be timed, multiple choice, 1 attempt. Quizzes are also going to be timed with 1 attempt. So those will be timed, and your essay questions, when you work on those, you can go in and out of those as you're working on them. So when you open them, you don't have to finish them in that one setting. You just work on them till the due date, or till you're ready to submit them before the due date, and just upload those files. Now, there's also a cumulative final exam at the end of the semester. So that's going to cover the entire semester. That final exam is going to be set up just like all of your previous tests. So it's going to be multiple choice, timed, one attempt. So the format's going to be essentially the same. For each chapter in Blackboard, not in Blackboard, in Canvas, that's a time machine to the past. We've left Blackboard behind many years ago, but we spent many years with it. But for each chapter in Canvas, there will be an outline. So this is personal preference. Some people love them. Some people don't want to use them. Some people don't use them. It is your preference if that outline helps you through the chapters. I suggest that you start off using them and kind of gauge from there. But one reason I like for students to use them is because you have those 5 tests and you have a cumulative exam. And if you fill out those outlines, you're essentially making a study guide for yourself. And that's something you can refer to when you're studying, and you can have those notes there, and it can be very useful for you. It can also help guide you through the chapter. Sometimes there's a lot of information. It can get overwhelming, and this kind of just helps guide you through. So those outlines are there. They are for your benefit and for your choosing of whether or not to use them. Now, one other thing that I want to mention about the semester as a whole, and then we'll look at the coming week. But there is a project that's going to be due this semester. It's due a little bit later in the semester, but I need you to go ahead and be aware of it. Now, for that project, you are going to track your diet and your activity for 7 days, and you're going to select a program to use to do this. There are some options that are listed in the project instructions. I have encountered so many students along the way who already use diet and activity tracking programs, and they want to use their own, and that's perfectly fine. But what you're going to do is you're going to, in a nutshell, and there's a full description of the instructions that are found in Canvas in the project information section. But what you're going to do essentially is you're going to track your diet and your activity for 7 days, and you're going to create graphs of that data. You're going to analyze it, and you're going to answer some discussion questions about that. And it's really just really being able to analyze data and to take that information that we've learned throughout all the chapters and applying that to your diet. Now, I am not grading how good or bad your diet is. And oftentimes students can kind of get a little bit concerned about that. I'm not grading the quality of your diet. I am grading your data analysis. I'm grading how well you can apply the concepts that you have learned this semester and how you can apply those to your diet and to changes that could be made, that should be made, those kinds of things. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, I also recognize there may be some students that tracking a diet like that and kind of just really diving into that over those 7 days might not be the best thing for them to do at a certain snapshot in time. I recognize that. I recognize the sensitivity of that. And so when you go and look at the project information section, there are some scenarios that you can choose from to create a diet for a character. You're given a person, and you're given some characteristics and a snapshot of their goals or for what their week is like. And so what you would do if you choose to do that, instead of tracking your own diet, is you would create one for these characters. So that is an option, and that's something that you can do in lieu of tracking your own diet if it's not really in your best interest to do that at this point in time. So, as you look through Canvas, one of the first things that you're going to come across is going to be a student orientation section, and that's how we're going to jumpstart this course. So what you're going to do is, obviously, you're going to watch this video, and there's a section about how the course works that you're going to read, and there are 2 assignments with the orientation section. There is a course understanding quiz, and there's a student bio post. Now, for that course understanding quiz, it's going to be a quiz on things that are covered in the syllabus, in the how this course works section in this video. And that's just showing that you kind of have an understanding of how things are set up in the course. You can take that quiz as many times as you need to earn all 10 points. It's not timed. You go back and take it as many times, earn all 10 of those points. Go back, and if you miss something, go back and do it again until you get all 10 of those points. And that student bio post, do that bio post. It's a fun thing to do. Well, it might not be a fun thing to do, but it's not a you don't have to study to do it, and you don't have to sweat. Don't make it harder than it is. Just get that bio post. Just tell us a little something about yourself, an interest, your majors, whatever it is that you're comfortable sharing, and then respond to two classmates, at least two classmates. And this is just a way for us to start to foster an online community together. So that course understanding quiz is going to be worth 10 points. That bio post is going to be worth 5 points. Both of these are extra credit. They're extra credit points. It's the only extra credit in the semester, but you can go ahead and you can start the semester off with 15 extra credit points. And I can't think of a better way to get started. So go ahead and do those, earn those extra credit points. And as soon as you get those done, you're going to move to chapter 1. So you're going to be responsible for reading chapter 1 in your textbook and working on and submitting the chapter 1 assignment and discussion post by their due dates. Again, the due dates are in the syllabus. Canvas is good about posting reminders about due dates. I try to be very good and diligent about emailing you about reminders, but also it's up to you to take the responsibility to have access to those due dates as well and be on top of it all. If you have any questions at all, let me know. I know this was a long video. I know that's a lot of information. I understand that, but I just want you to know that I'm here to help as you get started, as you're working through the semester, anything at all. Please feel free to let me know. And again, I'm here to help. The easiest way to get me is to email me. If we need to have a conversation, we can schedule that. That's not a problem. Again, I'm here to help. And although this course is online, I don't want you to feel that you are without an instructor, that you're not without a human who can help you and who can support you and who is here cheering you on. So I'm looking forward to this semester. I'm looking forward to getting to know more about each of you, and let's make it a great one. Thanks so much.